another good quality supercharger or procharger. Wow, gunshots, keeps crackling. That doesn't sound good. It sounds like a trash can. Sounds like Austin's GTI. Sorry, Austin. Damn, still going. Still going. What's going on, everyone? It's Wes with the Black 2 valve here, back for another video, and today is kind of just going to be a discussion for you guys in the comments below. I want to step up the power in this car. The 4.6 behemoth V8 of an engine is too slow stock, so I definitely want to put some forced induction power into it, and I'm a bit on the fence about what to do on that. So today I just wanted to go over, what do you guys think I should do to this 2 valve Mustang? Supercharge or turbocharge? Let's get into it. So guys, I just wanted to go over briefly what is done to this car if you're new to the channel or haven't seen all our videos on the 2 valve here. So we got a SR Performance cold air intake, which is a cheap little intake from American Muscle. I plan on upgrading that. Also up here we got the 78mm UBK throttle body, which definitely helps with airflow combined with that cold air intake there. And then I have the car on a flash tune and gets as much horsepower and airflow as possible. So yeah, everything else with the engine is pretty much stock. That's where I want to do some serious power gains. But if you start up down here, the exhaust, if I could zoom in, see those long tube headers poking out. They are BBK long tube ceramic coated headers for this 2 valve Mustang, and those things really open up a lot of airflow and make this thing breathe so much better, again combined with that throttle body and cold air intake. So definitely a really good mod for these Mustangs if you're staying NA or supercharger route, whatever you're doing. Make our way over here. There's those headers right there. They really stick out. Austin and I made this little ratchet setup here with the off-road X pipe, since I already had one for the stock intake manifold, so we rigged that up ratchet style. So I'm running that off-road X pipe, no cats. It's quite raspy, but I like it. And then to the back of the car, it goes to the Flowmaster Thunderback cat pack all the way out. I was debating on doing just cams until I figured I could pull enough money and make either the turbo or supercharger kit happen. So that's what we're here to do today, talk about that. But that's what's done to the car right now. I don't really know. I've never got a dyno tune or anything. Not really sure how much power it's making. I would guess upper 200s. It's very torquey and fun overall, and it's loud, but it's really not pushing over 300 horsepower, which I want to get 300 and then up to possibly 400 depending on what route I go. So let's talk about those kits now. So let's start off with talking about the supercharger. Now there's the top mounted Whipple superchargers like the Kenny Bell. Those things are freaking wicked, but they're also very pricey. They're over 4,000. I think they retail for like 5,000 and change, so definitely an expensive route to go, but they sound incredible. You can push some good numbers with it. So that's like top of the line superchargers for the top mounted Whipple. In my budget, the top mounted Whipple superchargers like the Ken Bell, too expensive for me. So what we're going to discuss today is the Vortex. So Vortex is a well-known supercharger brand. I would go with the non-intercooled option just because it's within my budget. The intercooled option, you have to buy the tank separately, which you can mount over on the passenger side of the car there. But so for the non-intercooled Vortex system, it is $3,593. So that's the cheapest supercharger they have to offer, and then it goes up from there. But that's right around where I could afford that. There's also additional mods you have to do when you buy that Vortex kit. The Vortex kit does come with a lot of what you need, but you do need to upgrade the fuel system and a few more things. So let's talk about the fuel system. I found a kit with a high performance fuel kit. It has number 47 pound injectors, comes with an Aeromotive fuel pump and adapters, and it comes with a 3-inch mass airflow meter. It's going to be pushing a lot more air and fuel. So that kit is $799, and if you combine the supercharger kit with that high performance fuel kit, what I just said, comes out to $4,392. So that's getting up there in price. We surpassed 4,000. Those are definitely highly recommended additional modifications you should do when supercharging the car. If you do not upgrade these fuel system options, you're going to have issues when you go to get it dyno tuned, and yes, you have to get it dyno tuned for any supercharger for the car to run properly. The tuner's going to have a problem and your car is probably going to take a shit on you. These two valves are rated for, people say, around safely 400 horsepower on the stock block. There's numbers above and below, but generally what I've done research on is like around 400. I have a stage 2 clutch in the car, and that is rated for 423. So it can go a little over 400 safely. But yeah, the horsepower is the main thing. People say if you push too much boost, you're gonna freaking knock a fist-sized hole in your block. Like they've seen it done. You're gonna blow a rod, a piston. Shit's gonna hit the fan quick. So you want to upgrade all your internals and make sure it's appropriate for how much boost you're running. So yeah, that's the Vortex Supercharger. It's really plug and play compared to a turbo kit, which requires a lot of custom fab work, which Austin and I can definitely do, but it's going to take more time. So this is mainly plug and play, bolt up, a lot less piping to run, and you spend more money up front, easy install. You get the dyno tune complete on the car, and you can pretty much up and go after you get all the fuel system upgrades as well. So that's pretty straightforward on the Vortex Supercharger. I guess my question to you guys, if you're running a Vortex setup, comment down below on which version you have, V2, V3, if it's intercooled, non-intercooled, what you suggest me to do for this car. I do like the look and the numbers I see for the Vortex. It pushes, I think, like high 300s, and it can go into the low 400s comfortably on somewhat of a low boost, maybe 7 or 8 pounds of boost. So those numbers are pretty good, and it's a well-designed kit overall. So I've heard good things about Vortex. It's just a little more money up front. So let me know what you guys think down below about that Vortex kit. Alright, now let's talk turbocharger. So I just want to switch up the angle a little bit so you can kind of see into the engine bay. The turbo kit that I have done the most research on and seems to be the most popular on online forums and just the internet in general is the Mustang On 3 Performance Turbo Kit. So these guys in the past have made a V1 kit, their first version, and what I've read is there are a lot of issues with the kit, fitment wise, and I guess just internal issues. But now they have a second kit which they perfected their issues with, I guess, that people addressed. Now let's get into the prices of this. The On 3 kit is $2,099, and they have a flat rate shipping fee of $99. So that comes to basically $2,200 probably plus a little tax. And that's straight from their site. Other sites such as American Muscle and LMR, Late Model Restoration, offer this kit for slightly different prices, but it's around the $2,100, $2,200. So that's not bad. It comes with almost everything you need. It does not include the fuel kit like the Vortex Supercharger I mentioned, and then you need a tubular K-member, which comes in a kit as well. You need a few other things, so let's touch on that now. So the On 3 kit comes with a 70mm turbo, which is going to mount right here. It's a very, very tight fit from what I've read online on forums, but everything does fit. You're going to have the similar pipe that goes down into the wheel well here. It's going to wrap around to the bottom with lots and lots of piping. That's just turbos. You have to run a lot of piping, but it is what it is, and based on what I've read, I've done a lot of research. Everything fits. It can be very close. Everything does fit if you do it properly. You do need the tubular K-member, so they offer a Team Z K-member or a UPR K-member. Now that's a kit. It comes with the tubular K-member itself, comes with front coilovers and then A-arms. So that whole front suspension you're replacing. I just read today that you can drop up to 50 pounds total. One guy said he dropped 50 pounds with that setup. So my question to you guys, have you heard of this kit to begin with? Have you heard of the tubular K-member? Which one is better, I guess, versus the UPR or the Team Z member? I've heard Team Z member is a little better quality, and that runs, I think, $850 compared to the UPR, which runs $750 about. So it's about $100 more, but you do get what you pay for in most cases. So drop a comment, whatever tubular K-member you run on your Mustang, your buddy's Mustang, what he has and what he thinks of it. Also, what's pretty cool about the high performance fuel kit that I mentioned for the Supercharger, that is compatible completely with the turbo setup. So again, those 47-pound injectors, the high pressure fuel pump, and then that mass airflow meter sensor for increased airflow. So yeah, that all comes to $3,647. So that comes right above just the starting price of that Vortex kit, not including the fuel kit for the Supercharger. So it is quite a bit cheaper, I think like $700-800 cheaper for that turbo kit with the tubular K member and the fuel setup. So let me know what you think down below. Like I said, that turbo and the Vortex supercharger would sit right here and run piping nice and neat throughout there. And yeah, with that turbo kit, you're going to get that front mounted intercooler. Depending what bumper you have, with mine you'll be able to see it through the bumper, which would be cool. I definitely want the 0304 Cobra bumper. They're just so much money. I don't know why, but that's just one of the Mustang parts that is overpriced in my opinion. It is a very nice bumper. It doesn't have the license plate cut out. It's got upgraded fog lights and everything. It's very appealing. A lot of new edge people do that mod. So I would definitely enjoy the bumper, but that's just a lot of money right now. I'd rather just get the turbo kit or the supercharger, get it all up, get it dyno tuned, and call it a day and do the bumper later. And last but not least, let's talk about the dyno tune you're going to have to get for either the supercharger or turbo kit. So dyno tunes can vary quite a bit. We're in New Jersey, kind of central North Jersey. I've been doing a little research on pricing. It's kind of hard to get an exact number online, but people say roughly, you know, between like $350 upwards of $650. So that's a pretty big range. But this one guy did mention a guy down in Delaware. He's a single dude out of the garage. He's been perfecting Mustangs for years. It's like a little over 2-hour drive from me. I mean, I would be willing to do it, probably trailer this thing down if I get it turboed or supercharged and have him have at it for the day and really perfect the timing and all that. So I'd be willing to spend $350. That's not too bad for the dyno tune. I also have the Bama flash tuner, so I can hopefully add a bass tune or email files onto that to have as backups or additional tunes for the car. So that's a wrap for today's video, guys. Just wanted to go over some pros and cons from what I've heard from the supercharger kit and the turbocharger kit that I've been researching. Let me know what you think I should run on this car. Whatever I decide to do, the Vortex or the turbo kit, it's really going to wake up this car. I just don't want to blow a hole in the side of the block or mess up the engine. In any case, it has 106,000 miles, give or take, right now. So that's over the 100,000 mile mark, and people definitely recommend doing additional upgrades the more miles you have on the vehicle, which makes sense. Older car, older motor, you're putting a lot of stress and air through that motor that it's not used to, so it's easier to break things than just running a naturally aspirated setup. Also, I've been thinking dropping some camshafts in. I've been doing a lot of research, especially today, about camshafts for turbochargers or the superchargers. It's quite tricky. I'm not experienced at all in camshafts, and you can make custom cams. You can buy just regular cams off the shelf that companies have to offer, but there's definitely specific cams and they're meant for turbo setups or supercharger setups. So cams are going to run me about $600. I've read mostly that cams don't make that much of a difference when you start putting the forced induction supercharger or turbocharger on. You can get, you know, another 25-50 horsepower if it's correctly tuned and it's good cams. Cams are mainly for preference. If you like that lopey sound, which I do, you can definitely achieve that with some cams. And also other cams are built more for the performance aspect of things. So it's up to you what you want out of it, basically. If you want performance or the lope, the sound, or you want a little bit of both, there's cams out there for everyone and every setup. But I think that's just on hold for now. It's an additional mod that would be cool and a little more power gain, but primarily I would just want to buy the kit and the fuel kit, get started, and then get it tuned so I can get on the road. I don't plan on porting the heads or getting new rods, pistons, heads. I might get the intake manifold, the Ford Performance one, or shop around for that. I could upgrade the fuel rails as well. I'm going to need spark plugs with that fuel kit and to make it run properly. So there's definitely other things. Comment down below if you have a list of mods that you know really perfects the kits, one or the other, or what you recommend upgrading to make the car run and idle properly once tuned. Just want to get your feedback. But either way, this car is getting an awakening soon, and it's going to be a frickin' beast. So until next time, peace.